Libra, welcome. Let's pull some cards, shall we? Let's see what's in store for Libra for the next week or two. Let's see. I'm going to pull, as I've been doing for the past week or so, I'm going to pull the initial spread with this deck of fairy tarot cards, and I am going to pull some clarifiers. We'll see how we feel. But I'll pull the initial deck, the initial spread with these cards, and then I will pull some clarifiers. We'll see what deck we feel like using for clarifiers, and then we'll pull some advice and then an oracle card. But I'm going to try to make this a little quicker than I normally do. I'm probably not going to pull as many qualifiers as I normally do, just to speed it up a little bit. But if you're new, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I'm new to doing collective spreads, so I'm just trying to hone my intuition and see if I can work on doing collective spreads. It's a newer thing to me, so if you find this helpful, if you have any comments for me, I'd love to hear them. Go ahead, put them in the box below, okay? So this is going to be for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. I'm going to pull love, career, and soul, so like spiritual ascension. I'm going to be quiet while I pull the first layout of cards, so feel free to fast forward. Okay, Libra, so let's see what we got here. We have first out the batch, we have the High Priestess. We then go into the Magician. Wow. And the Seven of Spring, which is the Seven of Wands. So nice. So for love, we've got the High Priestess, the Magician going into the Seven of Springs. Career, we've got the Chariot going into the Three of Winter, which is the Three of Swords, and then the Queen of Spring, which is the Queen of Wands. In Spiritual Ascension, we have the Ten of Spring, which is the Ten of Wands, going into the Prince of Wands, and then going into the Queen of Swords. Okay. All right, so in love, I think we're going to use the Witch's Tarot to clarify. So in love, it looks like, I'm going to pull some clarifiers in a minute, but it looks like you've been in a period of self-reflection, really self-reliance is basically the word I want to use. So a lot of self-reflection, but a lot of self-reliance. You trust your intuition, you trust your ability to make your life the way you want it to be, to live positively. You may be looked upon as kind of a teacher as well. Maybe you are a teacher, but you've definitely been, well, we've all been kind of self-isolating a little bit right now, but you've been taking this time and really using it to your advantage spiritually, and really, you've really been guided by your inner knowledge, and we can tell that but as you move into the Magician. So you're taking any kind of epiphanies that you've recently had during this self-isolation period, and you are formulating a plan on how to move forward. So the hard part, the thinking, the meditating, the ruminating, that part's over. Now you're starting to pull elements from different areas. You're going to figure out how you're going to make things move for you, and you're going to move into a period of time where you're going to find yourself being pretty self-assertive in love. So I think you're going to stand up for yourself. So maybe you've been thinking you haven't been pleased with the way you participate in relationships. Maybe you feel like you don't stand up for yourself enough, but you are going to be moving out of that energy. The self-reflection has shown you that you are strong, worthy, capable, talented, attractive, all of those wonderful things, and you're going to start becoming more assertive, basically. All right, so let's get a clarifier on the High Priestess. What's going on with the High Priestess lately? Clarifier on that High Priestess, please. The Ace of Swords. Yeah, so all that time you've been spending meditating and ruminating and thinking about things, you have come to a decision about something. So that decision is allowing you to move forward now, which is great. You may have broken up with somebody in the recent past, but I'm not really getting it as a breakup. I'm getting it more as maybe you've been single for a while, Libra, and have just come to a decision about how you're going to move forward. This is real, like, epiphany. This Ace of Swords along with the High Priestess is telling me that you've been thinking, and now you've made the decision to take action. The Magician takes action. The Magician is an action card. So let's get some clarifiers on the Magician. Please, Spirit, what do we need to know about that Magician? Clarify that Magician for us, please. Nice. So we got the Wheel of Fortune and the Four of Cups coming out. So what this tells me is that you're no longer willing to not feel fulfilled with this Four of Cups, right? So the Four of Cups can often be also a card of like a so within, so without card. So maybe you appear to the world to be one way, but you don't feel that way on the inside, or you want to bring those two aspects of your life into harmony and into balance, so that you project the way you feel and you feel the way you project, so that you are balanced, you are whole, and that's coming in for you. With the Wheel of Fortune here, you're moving into a whole new cycle, and with the Magician, you're figuring out how to make things work for you, how to move forward, how to create the life that you want to create. Let's see about the Seven of Springs. Tell me about the Seven of Spring, please. Tell me about the Seven of Wands, Spirit. What's with the Seven of Wands? Tell me about the Seven of Wands, please. We're not really getting any clarification here. Please help me clarify the Seven of Wands. This is kind of peeking out there. Oh, the Tower. Let's get another clarifier, please, for the Seven of Wands. And Justice, the balance that we were talking about earlier. So you are going to come into some kind of, in the Tower, lots of times people get really scared when they see the Tower, right? Because they think something bad is going to happen. But you know, I'm not getting that with the balance coming in. I'm really getting that maybe a wrong that was done to you is going to be made right. And since we're talking about love here, the Tower can also mean a separation lots of times. So Libra, I'm thinking that you are going to get a message soon from somebody that you may have been in a relationship with in the past, that you broke up with in the past, and this person is going to want to reconnect at the least, and you are, I don't think you're going to have any of it. I think you're going to feel good over what this person has to say to you, and I think the separation will be over and you are going to be in balance. But let's get one more clarifier. Is this gonna be, what is Libra gonna do? Yeah, Libra, we've got the, oops, sorry, that was a 5 of Cups there earlier. We've got the 4 of Cups here. And that does change my, I don't know why I was thinking this is the 4 of Cups when I pulled it, talking about the Magician, but now we got the 4 of Cups, which is really interesting. So Spirit was talking to me about the 4 of Cups, I just wasn't putting it in the right context. So let me go back and let me reanalyze this. Basically what we've got is disappointment in the past, and that's where we're getting this tarot. So this is all, that's where we're getting this Tower. So this is all really just confirming what I was saying before. You are no longer willing to feel powerless or unhappy in a relationship. So what you want, and there is that 4 of Cups, you want the whole picture. You want it all. You want to be in a relationship. You want to be able to tell people you're in a relationship. You want to feel on the inside and the way you feel, and you want everybody to acknowledge it. And when I say everybody, you just want to have a relationship that's out in the open, that appears, so this can go 2 ways, right? So for some people, either you had this relationship that appeared on the outside to be fantastic. Everyone is like, oh, you know, they're the greatest couple and everything is so wonderful, but in reality, your relationship was not good. Or it could be that your relationship you felt was really great, but your partner really didn't want to acknowledge publicly that you were in a relationship for various reasons, any reason, right? And so you broke up. Now this person is going to come back. They're going to tell you something that's going to make you feel a little bit better, but I still see you turning it away, this relationship. I think that you've spent all this time, Libra, in High Priestess mode, really reflecting on this relationship, on other relationships, on the way you participate in a relationship, and you've made a decision that you're going to take this Wheel of Fortune and this Magician energy, and you're just going to move forward with the insights that you've had, and you're going to throw the disappointments behind. You're moving on to a whole new phase in relationships, and this is very positive. So I think that, you know, brace yourself. You will get a message soon, or you will have contact. But I think you're going to use that 7 of Wands energy, and you're going to defend yourself, stand up for yourself, and you're not going to have anything to do with it. Okay, so that's in love. Let's move into career. For career, let's see. Let's take a look at these cards. We've got the Chariot moving into the 3 of Swords, and then going into the Queen of Wands. So I think in your career, you were coming from, you know, you were putting a lot of work, effort, self-discipline into your work. You may have been recognized at your work recently, and I think that has caused a little bit of jealousy, perhaps, from others who don't want, who maybe feel threatened, a little bit threatened by your success. And so I think that this hurt your feelings more than you would admit. Maybe there's been some little trash talking, gossip behind your back. thing about the Three of Swords is that it's not, you know, a real permanent pain. It's just temporary. It's somebody does something kind of mean to you. It stings, and then you move on. And I see you moving on with the Queen of Wands coming into your near future. That's you. You know, you're, as it says here on the card, believe in yourself. You are admired at work. You're looked up to, and you're liked. And that's the thing about the Queen of Wands. She's a powerful ally, and she has powerful allies. So I see you being able to throw off this little irksome mosquito that is not supportive of you or trying to bring you down, and you're just going to rise above it and really take the high road at work. Let's get some clarifiers. Let's get a clarifier on the Chariot, please. Spirit, what do you have to tell us about the Chariot, please? Yeah, so the Eight of Discs. So you've been working really hard, diligently, as we said, and you're appreciated for your work. The Eight of Discs is a craftsperson who works tirelessly into the night and produces excellent work. So the Chariot is, you know, victoriously moving forward along with this Eight of Discs. You've been doing really good work, Libra, and you've been recognized for it. What's the Three of Swords about? So interesting. So interesting when the cards repeat. So these three cards wanted to come out to clarify the Three of Swords, and so we have the Ten of Swords, the Three of Swords again, and Temperance. So as I was saying, I think this is just a minor skirmish. It's over. It's the end of it. Somebody did hurt your feelings, but you're being protected through all of this, Libra. You've got Temperance here, which is Archangel Michael, and your guides are protecting you through this, and you just have patience. And it is important that you take the high road when dealing with whoever this is that is not treating you the way they should be at work, because there will be, I don't want to say a reckoning, but things will work out in your favor when you have the Temperance card. Just be patient, take the high road, be kind. Let's get a clarifier on the Queen of Wands, please. The Five of Swords, so conflict. Get another clarifier on that Five of Swords, interesting. And the Six of Cups. So, let's get one more clarifier. Why the Six of Cups? Why the Six of Cups, Spirit? Clarifying that Queen of Wands. Why the Six of Cups? The Lovers. Okay, just kind of where I was thinking. So that's kind of interesting. I don't think that this is a romantic situation at work at all. I think that what's happening here is the Five of Swords is sometimes you can be your worst enemy when you're in conflict with someone else, and you can strike back, right? So if somebody's mean to you, you're mean back. Really what I think that these three cards, the Six of Cups, the Lovers, coupled with the Queen of Wands, I think that if you have somebody at work, a female probably, or a feminine energy at work, I think you should go and seek out their advice. I think they'll be a lot more helpful than you think. Or maybe you're going to be called. It could go two ways. You may be called upon to give advice to someone else, but I think that you will find a lot of peace if you talk to somebody at work that you respect, that maybe you've known for a little while, but you definitely have a more I don't want to say past life relationship, although I kind of feel like it's going there. Maybe you do have a karmic relationship at work. This person wants to help you, so find that person. They'll help you through this minor conflict that you're having. But again, this conflict is pretty much almost over, and we're looking at you to just take the high road, move forward in that Queen of Wands energy. She is, you know, very successful at work. She is magnanimous. She's attractive. People like her. And that's the energy that you need to focus on. You need to, you know, rise above the pettiness. And that's what we're getting in that card. Okay, so let's move on to spirit, soul, ascension issues. We've got the Ten of Wands. And oh, look at this. How interesting. The Ten of Wands. On the card it says, ask for help from others, all work and no play, being weighed down by too many responsibilities. So I think you're coming out of this a little bit of a burdensome situation spiritually, but it's over. So whatever this, you may have been going through, not quite a dark night of the soul, because you have had that High Priestess energy along with this Ten of Wands energy. So whatever this darker period that you've been in, this may be a little bit of shadow work that you've been doing, you're coming out of it. And again, seek help, talk to friends about it, talk to, you know, people who kind of vibrate on the same level as you, people who believe in the same things as you do. It'll be nice to discuss maybe spiritual issues with people who get it, who get you. I think that you are surrounded by these people, Libra. You just have to open up to them a little. I think you've been very much in private mode, and I think you can open up. And I think that you will be happy if you do. I think that you'll be surprised at the welcome you get when you decide to open up. And I think that, I think maybe you're feeling that because you're moving into this Prince of Wands energy, and the Prince of Wands is passionate and action-oriented and also relationship-seeking. So I think that you're moving into that energy, which is interesting because you've got the Prince of Wands coupled with the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is also very self-sufficient. So we have a lot of self-sufficiency cards here in this spread. She can see to the heart of a matter, heart of a situation. She sees through people. She sees through their masks. And she is cold in her calculating assessment of situations. And that's a good place to be in sometimes because nothing gets by the Queen of Swords. So she can be passionate with this Prince of Wands energy, but she can also recognize when a situation isn't working, and she will put an end to it, and she will move on. And I think that's kind of where you're coming at. You're kind of like coming from this place of, you were in this dark place, now you're feeling energetic again, you're feeling like you want to get out there, you want to talk, you want to take action in the world, you want to go do things, but you're not willing to suffer fools. So if somebody isn't up to your standards, I think you may be cutting some people out from your social group and bringing in others, or maybe you're recognizing a certain social group as being more in tune with where you're at right now in life. So let's pull some clarifiers and let's delve into it a little more. Whoops. Okay, let me clarifier on the Ten of Spring, please. Clarifier on that. Ten of Wands, Spirit. The Nine of Swords. So you've been having a lot of sleepless nights, really going through that dark night of the soul, second-guessing yourself, doubting yourself. You're moving out of that energy, and you're moving into this more self-confident role of the Prince of Wands. Let's get a clarifier on the Prince of Wands, please. The World. Nice. You've ended this phase successfully, this past phase of your spiritual development, and you are moving on to a new one. So all this work that you've been doing recently is really going to pay off for you, because I think you've learned what you need to learn, and you know that deep down inside. You know what you need to do to move it forward, to be that magician, taking control of your own destiny. Let's get a clarifier on the Queen of Swords, please. Clarifier on the Queen of Swords, please. The Page of Swords, very nice. So the Page of Swords assesses situations and doesn't make rash judgments. The Page of Swords, see, he's got his like sword up there, and he's like, you're not really sure. He's like, is he using it defensively? Is he gonna use it offensively and swing at somebody? He's not really sure. He's kind of gathering information and assessing. And I think that's kind of how you're going to approach relationships and situations in the future. You're not going to jump in with both feet into any situation right now. You're going to calmly assess it. Is this situation worthy of you? Is this something you want? I think this is going to be in personal relationships more than career. I think you're doing really, really well, Libra, in career. And, you know, there might be little hiccups here and there. There are always hiccups. There are always a little bit of challenges. But overall, I think that you're really strong career-wise right now, Libra. I think that the spiritual ascension is tying in more to the romance of being more assertive, and maybe not idolizing people too much when you meet them. They have to prove themselves to you. And I think that's really the energy that you're moving into now. You've got a lot to give, but you're not going to just give it freely. The person's going to have to prove to you that they're worth it, and that they're worthy of your time and attention. And I think that's going for you, not just romantically, but in regular friendships as well. You're not willing to be taken advantage of or taken for granted. So I think you're moving into a really strong space, Libra. Let's get advice card. What advice does Spirit have for Libra in love and romance and relationships? The Four of Cups again. How interesting. So the Four of Cups, and this is what I was saying, the Four of Cups in this deck particularly, it's called luxury, and it's very much a balancing of internal and external emotions. So the Four of Cups says that you are, you really want to feel whole on the inside, and you want that wholeness to reflect in the physical, tangible world around you. So this is a card of just not accepting anything less than what you are worthy of and what you should expect. So Libra, in relationships of all kinds, you let the person prove to you, be willing to receive. I feel like maybe you give more than you receive, or, you know, Libra, it could be reversed. Maybe you were taking more than you were giving. Take it how it resonates for you. But either way, that time of being out of balance is coming to an end, because now this is a time where you need to balance what's going on internally and what's going on externally, so that everything matches up. So if you're in a relationship, you want to be able to introduce your friends to your partner, right? You want it can't be like this private relationship. Or if you're in a relationship and everything looks great, it has to be great, you know, when you close the doors at night and the two of you are just alone. So you're not willing to accept anything but a fully balanced relationship situation. And that's your advice, is to stick to that determination. Okay, what is the advice in career for Libra, please? What advice does Spirit have for Libra in career? The Magician, how nice. Okay, so you can manifest what you want in your career. You're very strong right now, and your communication skills are super strong right now. So take advantage of those. Communicate, talk, write, get those emails out, network, come up with a plan, decide what you want to do, because right now your manifestation skills are super strong, and you can make what you want happen. So network with that coworker that you were going to look for advice from, and just keep moving forward, because I think that you're really super strong right now in career, Libra, and I think that's just a sign that you're just going to continue to be strong. Okay, what's the advice for Libra in soul, spirit, and ascension issues? Temperance. We got Temperance again. Okay, so in this deck it's called Art, but it's the Temperance card. And again, this is the alchemist taking little bits and pieces from everywhere, bringing them together to create harmony and balance. This can be sometimes a card of teamwork, a card of bringing people together that you wouldn't normally bring together. It's an alchemy card. So I think that for you, this is talking about spiritually, just being patient, taking a look at the various aspects of your life and finding balance in a way that that brings peace to you and that makes you stronger. It goes really nicely with the Magician. I'm going to pull one more card for Temperance. It's important also that you take the high road when you're dealing with Temperance. So you need to keep your thoughts positive and be very aware of the fact that you can manifest things in your life. So it's really important. At the Five of Wands, it's really important that you think positively when you're manifesting right now. You need to make sure that you're not thinking negatively, because the more you think negatively, the more you have the chance of bringing that into your life. So it's really important right now that as you work through these manifestations, these visualizations of what you want to bring into your life, these assumptions of how people are, don't jump to conclusions. Don't think that, if we're talking about a new relationship, a new situation, don't think that it's automatically negative. That Queen of Swords energy is good when it's paired like this with the Prince of Wands, but if we go negatively, it could be you just trying to take advantage of other people and kind of be a player, and not just romantically, but be a player, when you're just dealing with people in general. You want to not do that, Libra, if that is resonating for some of you. I think it might. So you need to temper that, a little bit of that arrogance and that ability to I don't want to say to take advantage of people, but basically to kind of take advantage of people. So I think that's just for a small subset of you. I think for the most part, you do have the World. You have ended a cycle recently, and Temperance is saying that you may feel a little bit uncertain, but rest assured that you have what it takes, and you can bring all these new aspects in your life together to make something really positive happen for you in the next phase of your life, the next phase of this your next learning cycle. So I think you're in a really strong place right now, Libra, really full of self-confidence, little epiphanies I think you've had recently about yourself and others, and I think that you're pretty clear about how you want to move forward right now. This is a pretty strong spread for you, Libra. I'm going to pull one last card, kind of like an overall theme from this Moonology deck. Let's see what advice Moonology Oracle card has for Libra, please. Spirit, what message do you want to leave Libra with at the end of this reading? What should Libra take with them and think about for the next 2 weeks, or a week, next week or two? Libra, your card is Surrender to the Divine. How nice. Surrender to the Divine. And let me get the book out and read. I really like to read from this Moonology book because it always, there's always a message in there that I wasn't thinking of, but it's really interesting. We've got full moon, surrender to the divine. So the timing is pretty cool for that right now, I think. All right. So it says, the very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind. Agreed? But it really is the feeling of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. There may be some kind of change and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you. They're very likely close to the surface, no matter when in the moon cycle you've pulled this card. Matters will soon conclude, and you'll find out whether or not your wishes are going to come true. The odds are in your favor, as this is a positive card, but you may need to work harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold. So we did get temperance twice for you, so that means, you know, patience, watch your tongue. That's pretty interesting. Okay. So additional meanings for this card are a wish you made may be about to come true. It's make or break time. And also you may need to forgive someone else to release negative energy. It's time to let go of the past and move on. And I think that's what we were talking about in the relationship situation above. So I do think that you are going to, if not have actual physical contact or, you know, email or phone chat or whatever kind of contact with a past relationship, at the very least you're going to have an epiphany about that past relationship that's going to make you, that's going to allow you to move on. And the teaching of this card says the full moon marks the climax of the lunar cycle, making this card something of a power card. Ooh. The full moon is often the time when answers are given to questions asked during the new moon, and pulling this card at any time in the lunar cycle suggests answers will be coming your way before too long. Awesome, Libra. So you have answers coming your way before too long that are going to help you move forward. They're going to wrap up things for you. You're wrapping up a cycle and you're moving into a new cycle of lots of positivity and success and self-confidence, self-assuredness, which is fantastic, Libra. So just keep this in mind. Remember to keep, you know, your tempers at bay if somebody does do something that kind of sets you aflame, because this is a time for you to realize that you are successfully ending a phase and moving into a new one that you have complete powerful control over. So it's all up to you what you decide to do with it, Libra. All right, I hope you got something out of this, and I will see you next time.